Hey guys, the question for today is whether or not there are early signs to tell whether or not someone is crazy, deranged, or any of that. Someone that's just not good for you. They don't even have to be crazy, but just not good for you. I'm not here to assess blame on anyone, because we all make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. I could tell you a bunch of stories where I've made a lot of mistakes. But I do believe that there are early warning signs to a situation like this. And let me just tell you about my own situation. I had met this guy, and he was my second husband. And we hit it off really well at first. And by the time we got to like our 90-day, 3-month time period, I was ready to call it quits. I just didn't really feel like he was the guy for me, and it was something inside of me that said that he wasn't the right person for me. So when I told him, look, I don't think this is gonna work out, that I didn't want to be with him anymore, he started crying. And out of all the times that I would feel compassion, I felt compassion at that moment, and I was like, well, okay, we can try to make this work or whatever. I was willing to give it a second chance. So long story short, we dated for about a year. We got married. The first weekend of our marriage, we had an argument. I don't even remember what it was about, but he packed up his bags and he left. And this was the first weekend of my marriage, right? So that should give you an indication of what is to come, right? By month, it wasn't even, because we got married in January. By October of that year, I was getting a call from the emergency room at the hospital, at one of the hospitals here. And I got on the phone, and they referenced me by my married name. So I knew something was wrong because I practiced under my maiden name. And so I knew it wasn't like a client or business. I knew something was wrong with me. Something was going on with me in my personal life. So they told me, the doctor told me who he was and where he was calling from and what was going on. So I got up immediately. I rushed to, because I was in a meeting with the client. I rushed to the hospital. I get down to the hospital, and they explained to me that my husband at the time was bipolar schizophrenic. I had no idea what that meant. I didn't know what bipolar schizophrenic was. I didn't know how to recognize. I didn't know anything. I was totally ignorant. So they sat me down. They explained some things. Of course, I had plenty of questions. But he ended up spending a whole week in the psych ward, souped up on Prozac. And initially my first response was I wanted to get out of the marriage. I wanted a divorce. I felt like I had been hoodwinked. But then I thought about my vows and how it said, in sickness and in health. And so I knew that I had made a vow, and I just couldn't leave him like that. I was like, he needs me right now. I can't leave. So I stayed. But our marriage, we were married 4 years. 4 years? 4 years. It was hell. It was hell. And I just got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. I tried to make the marriage work, and I just could not take it anymore. And but when I thought back on the courtship, I started thinking there was at least one sign there. And maybe it's because I didn't know. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. And I knew then I should have stopped the relationship, but I overlooked it for some strange reason. Really just discounting the event, discounting the situation. And I don't want to give you the wrong impression and make you think that he was a violent person or anything like that toward me, because he wasn't. But it just, something in me just told me that this guy just really wasn't quite right, and I just overlooked that. So anyway, what I did during the marriage, to help me come into a better understanding of what was going on, I went to the library and I got some books, and this was one of the books. I'm going to put the title and the author in the video box for you guys, because you can use this whether it be male or female. You can use this. The book is called Emotional Blackmail: When the People in Your Life Use Fear, Obligation, and Guilt to Manipulate You. And it's by Susan Forward with Donna Frazier. Those are the authors. It's a very, very good book. It tells you when a person is manipulating you, when they're using fear, obligation, and guilt to manipulate you, and other things to manipulate you. It gives you vivid examples on what to recognize and how to confront someone on this level. This book was very helpful. I read the book. It was very helpful. And there's some other books out there that are similar to this one that are very helpful. But this one here I highly recommend if you're in a situation, or you think you're in a situation where you're being manipulated by someone, and then if you want to know how to deal with that person and how to get out of the situation, this would be a very good book for you. When he came home and he saw me, I had the books like in a little stack on the floor, and he saw the books, he kicked the books over. So that should tell you, that should give you an indication as to, you know, what you're dealing with, you know, the type of person that you're dealing with. Sometimes, ladies, I don't know what it is about us, but sometimes we just overlook the obvious. Sometimes we think we can change a man, or even a guy. You think you can change a woman. You can't change a person. They are who they are. You cannot change them. That's why when I'm on YouTube, I don't try to change people. I just tell you what I believe. I ask a lot of questions. I welcome, you know, open dialogue, whatever. We can talk about it, discuss it. But you're not going to change me. I'm not going to change you. You can present, we both can present each other with facts and information, but ultimately, in the end, that person has to make the decision to make change, you know, and that's just what's up.